everyone, it's Holi and we are making tekwa dal today. Tekwa dal is a Mauritian pastry which is made of wheat and has a delicious chana dal filling in it. So let's get started. The first ingredient is chana dal. We also call it dal gram in Mauritius. So I have here with me half cup of dal. I'm placing it in a bowl and I'm going to wash it in some water, and I'll be washing it 2 to 3 times until the water runs clear. Next, I'm going to add my dal to a pan. You can also choose to soak it for a few hours if you'd like. Then I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt and cover it with about 1 liter of water and bring it to a boil. I have this on medium heat and I will be stirring it every now and then while it boils. The dal might form some scum on top while boiling. You can just remove that with a spoon. If while boiling the water dries out, you can also add in a bit more water and continue cooking it until the dal has become soft. So I have now lowered the heat and I'm going to check my dal for doneness. It's very hot, so please be careful. I'm taking one between my fingers and it crumbles easily, so it's done. Be careful not to overboil this. I'm now just going to drain the dal and then I'm going to let it cool completely. In a jug, I have taken about 3/4 cups of water and I have added some yellow food coloring to it. So the color really depends on you. Some also like it orange, so you can make it orange as well. We are now making the dough. So in a sieve, I'm going to add 2 cups of plain flour, followed by 3 tablespoons of milk powder, full cream milk, and then 1/4 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and then I am going to sift everything well together. Next, I'll add in 2 tablespoons of ghee that's already softened, and then I am going to mix it well with my fingers with the flour so that it combines well together. Now I'll add in some of my colored water, so I'm only adding about half of it, and I will gradually add in more so that I can make a soft dough. So I'm bringing it all together to make my dough. If ever you've added too much water, don't worry, just add in a little bit of extra flour and it will come together nicely. So it's sort of becoming a dough now. I'll keep kneading this, and my dough has formed, so I'm going to knead it for another 5 to 10 minutes so it's all well mixed and uniform. My dough is ready now. I'll just shape it in a bowl and place it in this bowl here and let it rest. So I will also cover this so it doesn't dry out on top. You can use a tea towel or cling film if you want. Next, we are going to grind our cooled dal. So I'm placing it in my food processor here. Now all we have to do is pulse this dal to a very fine texture. So we want to make sure there are no small bits left inside. As you can see, this is what it should look like. I have with me 1 teaspoon of roasted fennel seeds and I'm going to grind them finely. This is the texture after it's done. Time to prepare my filling. So I'll add in the fennel seed powder and then half cup of sugar, followed by 2 tablespoons of desiccated coconut, and then lastly 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder. So mix all this together nicely until well combined. We are now going to assemble the tekwa. So I have here with me my dough that has rested. As you can see, it's quite nice and soft. So I am going to place this on my work surface now, and I'm gently going to roll it and shape it in a log like this. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then using a knife, I'm going to cut this into half to separate it into 2 pieces. I do this because I want to work the dough separately so that it doesn't dry out. I am now shaping it into a ball, and I'm going to place it back in my bowl and always cover it like this. Next, I'll continue the same process with my other half of the dough. Shape into a log, and then this time I am going to cut it into 4 equal pieces. I'm making thick tekwas, so that's why 4. If you want thinner ones, then you can shape it into 6 pieces. Now I'm going to take a piece of my dough, and I'm going to pinch the side inwards like this to form a smooth ball. So it's kind of done now. I'll flatten it into a disc. So you can also do it with your rolling pin, or you can use your hands. I find it easier to just use my hands because I don't want to add flour to this at the moment. And then you place this flattened disc into your hands and shape it like a bowl like this. Now we are going to add our filling to this. So I would say for me, I was able to add in about 1.5 tablespoons of filling, and I am going to now pinch this dough like this to seal it. So if you want to make a thinner tekwa, then I suggest you put half of that amount of filling inside it. So I am now shaping it into a disc with my hands again, and then I'm going to place it on a floured surface. I'll repeat that with the rest of the tekwas, and when I'm done, I'm just going to place it on a plate again that has been floured. I'm going to add more flour on top and then cover it. And I'll continue with the other half of my dough to add the filling. Next step would be to place my oil for deep frying in a wok or pan and let it heat up on medium heat. While my oil is heating up, I'm going to now roll out my tekwas. So very lightly flour the surface where you're going to do this, and take one of the tekwas and cover the rest. Using your rolling pin, you're going to roll this with very light movements. The reason we use light movement is because if you press too hard, your filling might come out. So you just keep turning this around and rolling it until you get a nice thick disc. I would say about 4 millimeters in thickness. As you can see, it's pretty thick. My oil is ready now. It's not too hot, so I am gently going to lower down my tekwa in it. Please be mindful that you keep it on medium because we don't want to cook the tekwa too fast, otherwise it won't cook in the middle. So now I am gently going to move it around using a spoon. Be very careful with it as it might break. So I'm using my spoon and gently pushing it around and covering it with more hot oil. When it's kind of cooked, I am going to press it like this in the oil for it to swell. So press it down a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it over after about 2 minutes. And you can continue pressing it down like I'm doing, because doing that helps it swell. So it's gradually swelling up now. Yes, it's completely swollen, so that's great. And I'm going to keep covering it with some hot oil to keep it cooking on the top as well. You do not want to turn your tekwas around too often or they might break. My tekwa is done now. It's been about 4 minutes. I'm going to take it out from the oil and let it drain on some kitchen towel. My tekwa is done now. Let me tear up one and show you how it looks inside. Check out this lovely filling, and I can only tell you how super delicious it is. And look how soft. These tekwas are best enjoyed with a cup of hot chai. And I would also like to wish a happy Holi to all of you who are celebrating. Hope you've liked this recipe, and do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon if you want to be the first one to get the notifications when I post new recipes. Thank you for watching.